What's going on, Seaport? It's Pacman Jones with Savannah Seaport News, and I really just want to react to a video that I posted a year ago about what happened to me 2 years ago to this date. On August the 24th, 2019, my place had burned down, and it stopped me from doing the news for about a year, or just about a year, almost a year. And I just want to go back and reflect on like what really happened, and I guess inform y'all on more stuff that really happened behind the scenes. So,
Chatham Emergency Services says a lightning strike is the official cause of that massive fire at the Liberty Oaks Apartments complex.
The Red Cross says they are helping close to 30 people, including 17 children. WTOC's Crystal Howard spoke with one of those families about what's next for them.
Yeah, Mike. Well, the man that I talked to today says he and his wife have called Liberty.
Ex-wife. Okay, so that building is completely demolished right now. I mean, it's been demolished, so it's just a slab for what I've seen. I think it's a dog park now. I think they turned that to like a dog park for the area. But yeah, not currently married. But for what happened, for my understanding, is that a lightning strike, if y'all can see the cursor, a lightning strike happened on the opposite side of where I was staying. Like, this is where, like, I guess, assumingly, where the lightning strike had happened. Now, I stayed, like, on the top in the back, so I stayed on this side, but it's like two sides of it.
Oaks Apartments home for over 6 years. Well, now they've lost everything and they're living with a relative.
Yeah, I was out there from 2013 to the end of 2013 till when that happened, 2019. And I pulled up. This is about around 2:20, 2:25, and noticed several firefighters out there, and I noticed that my building was on fire. So basically, what happened was that I went to work on a Saturday, because that was a Saturday, and I should be at work today, but things didn't work out at the job today. But maybe that was a sign. But I was leaving my job, the same job I'm working at, and something just told me, no, just go home first. But I ended up meeting my homeboy real fast, talked to him for like 5 minutes. Then I went to the alcohol store that's right by the apartment, and I just seen like a whole big, huge cloud of smoke. I'm just like, man, where the smoke coming from? So initially, what happened? I left the alcohol store. I was like, man, I gotta see where this shit coming from. So I drive like, that's not Millsby Lane. What's that road on freaking, what is that? Not Tatumville, but Liberty City. That road that take you all the way to the backside of Millsby Lane. And I was like, man, I see like so much smoke. So I'm like, man, this got to be coming from like my area. So I turned and I went into Brandlewood, the neighborhood Brandlewood that was next to mine. And I was riding in that neighborhood first. I was like, man, this smoke ain't coming from, the houses. I was just trying to see what was going on, being nosy. So I'm like, okay, let me go home. So turn out that neighborhood, turn it into mine. And I see like, damn, I see firefighters out there. And then when I pull up, I see, my shit, everything's on fire. It was so hot. That place, that fire was so hot. Like literally from, I was like 300 feet away, and I felt like the flames of it. Like it was like scorching hot. But let me continue. Whole roof.
Chatham Emergency Services says this building is a total loss after lightning hit it, leaving 30 people like Jones, including children, without a home.
Let me see if I can run it, show you where I stayed. I think. Okay, so that's the separate. Yeah, this is my area. Cause the steps come up, and I'm like, I believe I'm like right here. Like all this. All that was like mine. All that shit burnt.
people like Jones, including children, without a home. Jones says he and his wife are living with their mom for the time being, and he says while they are happy everyone was okay, they lost something that meant a lot to them, their pets.
I met a guy that had a red shirt on, and maintenance was there to help him kick the door down, and got my small brown dog, but couldn't save my black dog that was lost in the fire. So that was the only thing I was worried about, none of my material things.
But he says the scene was...
So what happened was, when I got there, I was letting them know, like, yeah, I stay at that place, at that apartment. And the guy was telling me, like, hey, you stay in 1337. I was like, yeah. He's like, you had 2 dogs. I was like, yeah. Now, initially, what he told me was that when he seen the lightning strike, he seen the fire, and he went upstairs and tried to get everybody out. So he didn't know if I was in there or anybody was in or not. So I guess apparently he kicked the door down, and I guess maintenance was with him trying to assist him. And he had got my brown dog. You about to see in a minute. He got my brown dog out, but I had 2 dogs. I had a brown dog and I had a black dog. He got my brown dog out, but my black dog, he was too scared and he went back into the flames, apparently, so they say. However, update to that, and God works in really mysterious ways. Well, actually, before I even update to that, when they actually got the brown dog on the maintenance cart, that they drive around in the apartments, it had him on the maintenance cart, but he got off and ran away. Now, 3 weeks later, after that, when that happened, I just went back around. I mean, I would always go back. I used to always go there like daily, just see if, my dogs came back, because everybody was saying, my black dog died in the fire. So, freaking on the 3rd week, I'm just thinking like, man, my hope's up. And someone just told me, just go over there and see, if you can find something. Because every now and then, like, we'll find like some missing stuff that was ours. So I go in the parking lot, and I just whistling. I don't want to whistle because I got this mic, but I was whistling and I was saying my dog's name. And then, I go back to the apartment. I wasn't even out there for like 2 minutes. I whistled and I looked up and I seen my dog like in a freaking like railway of like the steps. And like he was still alive. He was looking at me. I was like, oh my God. Like, I was like, my dog. And I was just like freaking out. I was like, oh my God, like my dog, like my black dog is like alive. So I broke in through a window on the first floor that was, nobody was living there. And I went through like the steps because they had that place boarded up, like you couldn't go into it. So I broke in through the window, got up steps, and then when I tried to, because he was going back my dog was going back, like trying to go back inside. I was like, no. But I seen where he was staying at. It's like I had like a laundry room that was like beyond the kitchen. It was like after the kitchen, there was like a laundry room. And freaking, he was staying in there. He was staying in a laundry container. And, apparently that room didn't get touched at all. And I was like, man, God just really works in really mysterious ways. Like, I really thought I had lost my dog. But I know at least both of them are alive. But I just can't find the brown dog. We still can't. But my ex-wife got the black dog.
Was so chaotic that his brown dog ended up running away. Now he said,
yeah, my 2 dogs. My ex-wife still got him, but still can't find him. But it is what it is.
As he and his wife have to start from nothing and rebuild, but he says they will do it with a smile.
And it's funny because this is like the best I felt, just the whole past few days that's been going on. But, I just been praying to God and just been keeping my head held high.
And I reached out to the corporate office for Liberty Oaks Apartments about what's next for this building. Will they tear it down? What are they going to do? And I also reached out to them for, if residents will be able to move into other units out here, but I have not heard back. Live in Chatham County, Crystal Howard, WT.
Man, that place sucked. Their front office sucked. They renamed it now. I think it's like Canvas something. I don't know. I don't even really go back there too often. Sometimes I can see it when I get on like what that is, Lions Parkway. I can see it from a distance, but that rental place sucked, honestly. And honestly, I did two interviews with news companies. I did one with WTOC, and I think I did one with Fox 28. I believe he was Fox 28, Robert Cantonese. But trying to find it this footage a year later, I couldn't find the other one, but I found hers. I wish I would have found his because I had did 2 interviews that day, but yeah, man, I just want to reflect on that, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I was like in this area, you know what I'm saying? And cause that's the walkway, and that was like my door, and it just, it's one reflect, man, cause I came a long way from like doing the news. I mean, I've been doing it for 5 years, but even though I took a year off, you can come back from anything. I stay on the south side now. I'm about to move again, so and like after that, man, it's just like a lot of people, didn't fuck with me after that. I just felt like I lost a lot of friends. Like a lot of people didn't reach out to me. It was like only like a select few, and I had help from my church. Of course, my church helped me a lot. The church that I had attend on the west side, shout out to them, Growing in Grace. They was really a blessing to me. But besides that, and a few people in my family, I mean, you really see who your friend is, and when you get in like a tragic situation like this, you know what I'm saying? I lost everything, bro. Like, I ain't had no computer. Like, what I went to work with is the only things I had left. And I had like a book bag, and I had like some old Levi's and like some shoes. Man, it was like, bro, I was a wreck, man. Like, I didn't go to work for a week. Of course, I took time off, but then when I came back, like, I was sensitive about everything. I start crying out of nowhere, man. Like, now it's like I don't think about it no more. Like, that shit just, it happened. I'm glad it was a fire, a lightning strike, and not, somebody being neglectful, and somebody like an oven fire or like a grease fire or something like that. I probably would have been like really pissed, if that would have happened. But at the same time, that kind of fire would have been a little bit more controlled, because what they're saying was that it hit the other side and it spread. So yeah, man, that was really a wild time, 2 years ago from the day, and it was like, it wasn't even raining that day. It didn't even rain on that side of town. Like, when I went out there, it was dry. It was dry as hell out there. It was just a lightning strike. But, that's what happens, man, and, just being able to, look forward and look on after this, because, I could have been home that day and could have been sleeping and not known, and could have been burnt up. It couldn't have been no more Pacman, so, just be thankful all the time. That's why I say, stay blessed, because you never know what can happen to you at any given moment.